Hello, everyone. This is Mohammad Akif with Akif CPA, and today we'll be talking about the fourth tax trap in the series of the 8 tax trap that we're talking about. This is for Canadians with US LLC on E2 or L1 visa, or are looking to get E2 or L1 visa. And then these traps happen for certain reasons. We'll talk about the effect of the trap, what penalties you might incur, the solution, and of course, why this happens, right? We got to find out the root cause of this problem. And we got to find out why this is happening throughout the chain. This is a common problem for a lot of Canadians who are trying to get to US to start a business or want to get to US to start a business on E2 or L1 visa. And then they end up in situations where there's double taxation, there's additional taxation, there are penalties, and then there are missed forms. So email us if you have any questions, info@akifcpa.com. We can help you with the tax planning. We can help you with the bookkeeping. We can help you with a lot of the stuff. Again, email us at info@akifcpa.com. We want to make sure your cross-border profile stays simple, manageable, where this is not leads to a tax trap that we're going to discuss. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Today, we'll be talking about the Form T1134 versus T1135 for a US LLC, and then why we are reporting this information wrong. All right, so let's talk about this. So T1134 versus T1135, why this CRA reporting trap for Canadians owners of a US LLC, why this happens, why this is a dangerous trap. And then I'll tell you why this happens. You know, we call this an advisor blind spot. And what is this advisor blind spot? And I'll tell you, because of this, these traps happen. Because of the blind spots, the trap happens. And I'm trying to make you aware of these spots and the traps so you can avoid them. So let's get into why this is happening. Okay, so all right, so this is the first, so this is the matrix. We'll be discussing the US attorneys, we'll be discussing the US local accountants, the Canadian local accountant. So US attorney, you know, their job, primary focus is to get you the visa, E2, L2. They'll be, hey, get an LLC, easiest, quickest, safest way to get the E2 visa. But do they understand that how this is going to be taxed on the Canadian side? But do they know that what forms you need to file? They don't. This is not their job. So what they tell you is that, hey, get an LLC, we can get this done for you, and then get it done for you. Taxation is not their forte. You're not paying them for taxation. It's not that they're misleading you. It's just that they're not aware of this. Local accountant, US accountant. Local US accountant treats you the same way they treat any other American, any other US resident. They have no or limited knowledge of the tax treaties. They don't understand how the Canadian departure tax works. They don't understand how the Canadian RSPs, the TFSAs, the RESPs, the Canadian mutual funds, the ETFs, the Canadian corporation, the investments are reported on the US forms. And if you do miss them, what are the penalties? Right? They don't understand how the USC is taxed on the Canadian side. No idea. Same thing with the local Canadian accountant. Right? They're working with local US Canadian resident. GST, T1, T2, you know, all of the T filings, not aware of what the US Canada tax rate is. Limited information. It's not their job. They're not doing that. They don't understand how the US is treating the LLC. How the US LLC needs to be reported on the Canadian side. This is what we're covering in this blog. And where they end up reporting this and where this should have been reported. All right. So this is called an advisor blind spot. And you're dealing with them on regular basis. It's just that they're not equipped to deal with the cross-border situation that you are in. Right? So that's what we call advisor blind spot. Let's go back to our blog. This is the root cause of the problem. These people who are professionals have no idea, right? Or have limited information in both cases. This is not their forte. So let's get to our blog. So what happens? What is going on here? So a Canadian resident with the U.S. LLC, majority of times, a Canadian accountant will report their LLC on Form T1135, which is the wrong form to file. For any Canadian person who owns more than 10% of a U.S. LLC is considered a foreign affiliate. Instead of filing Form T1135, Form T1134 must be filed for the U.S. LLC. And this is where they make a mistake. Majority of them reported on T1135. And this is where the penalty is coming to. Being late, CRA charges you 25%. They fine you 25% $25 per day for being late, and which can go into thousands. The solution is to find a competent accountant, a cross-border accountant, or an accountant who knows the U.S. LLCs to help you file the T1134 form. T1134 form is not a one-page form. It's a multiple-page extensive form. It's extensive reporting. There's a lot of questions and answers that you will not be aware of. Find somebody that can help you. They can help you, help you file this form, stay in compliance, not only with the Canadian side, but also on the U.S. side. If you have any questions, shoot us an email, info@akifcpa.com. We can gladly help you. This is the 3rd in the 8th series of the blogs. Thank you.